Good morning to you here on this Monday, January the 11th. Colder weather back in place now across the region and still trying to get a handle on the pattern for the end of this week and into next week. More on that as today's edition of the video rolls along. Boy, the cold air is back in place. That's a peek from the Banner Elk web camera courtesy of ResortCamps.com. It is a bone-chilling 5 degrees in Banner Elk as I cut this video. Take a look at some of these mountain temperatures. A lot of teens on the board early this morning. And again, even as you saw there in Banner Elk, some single-digit temperatures. Of course, the renewed shot of cold air. Excellent news for the ski industry. Look at all the snow making operations underway there at Appalachian Ski Mountain, where the temperature sits at 14 degrees this morning. Great ski conditions. We'll see updated base depths and probably more trails available here as we go through the next several days. Great ski conditions overall if you want to head up that way at any point in time this week. Greensboro Tower camera's been acting up. Well, let me see if we can get that to pop up for us. No, it's just not going to do it, but I can tell you the temperature in Greensboro is 26 with a wind chill of 18 degrees early this morning. These were your highs yesterday. We had a little bit of a milder day here across our region, but the colder air, that was definitely back in the plains and heading in our direction. It's certainly cold for that big playoff game. That's behaved about as expected. Bitterly cold there for the Minnesota-Seattle game yesterday. We had 50s for highs, though. It's not going to stick around too long. 50s, even a few low 60s in the Charlotte area, but back to colder weather starting today. In fact, look at that. Compared to yesterday morning during the 5 o'clock hour, 20 to 30 degrees colder in many, in fact, most Carolina locations. As this colder air works back in, that means our temperatures as we speak look like that as I cut the video here again during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. Quiet on the radar locally. Some lake effect snow down into the Great Lakes region. You have a few areas of light snow in the northern plains, too. But really, by and large, very quiet start to the day for most of the eastern two-thirds of the country. Clipper system up north heading our way. That's what you see making its way down through the plain states as we go through today and tonight. More on that in just a second. Your highs this afternoon in the 40s in most Piedmont spots. Lows tonight down into the 20s. Now, tomorrow that Clipper system gets here by evening. We'll have a little bit of a milder day just ahead of it, and it's possible there could be a few sprinkles or a few snow flurries out in the Piedmont with that Clipper tomorrow evening. Certainly some snow showers in the mountains, but any precipitation does not look to be a big deal east of the mountains. And again, a little bit milder tomorrow, but behind that is a reinforcing shot of colder air that we will be in the midst of for Wednesday. So your Wednesday highs look like that across the region. Now, you get out to late week. Let me show you the European computer model solution, and I'll show you more detailed maps in just a second. But the European model going with the idea of a double-barrel low, bringing us a chance of a little bit of light rain Friday night especially. And then the European continues to want to pop a second system in the Sunday time period. And if you take that model verbatim, which I don't recommend doing with any model at this point, but it does put down a little bit of light snow in parts of the Carolinas Sunday. Now, just kind of bear with me here as I go through some charts. I'm going to show you why the European is doing that. This is what it looks like. And actually, let me back up here to 120. This is what it looks like out at Friday evening, the European model. And notice this second little piece of energy. There's your Friday system, Friday night system. But then this second little piece of energy digging further to the southwest, enough so that you end up with enough of a system to produce that low pressure and that light precipitation for Sunday on the European. Now, there's the GFS computer model from the 0Z run, and you notice it's just kind of all big one system that swings through earlier in the weekend. That's valid Saturday evening. The piece of energy that was digging down behind does not dig as much on the GFS as it does on the European. The Canadian model solution, okay, this is Friday, so there's your rain with that particular storm system, and then it too has nothing Sunday into Monday except cold air. Again, let me show you another view of the European. This is the Friday time period on the European model, and then there is that light precipitation Sunday. Not much to write home about, but it is printing out something. It's possible, it's going to be almost impossible more than 3 or 4 days in advance to figure out exactly how all the pieces of energy in this complex upper-level pattern will behave. So there's going to be a lot of uncertainty as you move forward. Now, one thing that does look relatively certain is a pretty good shot of cold air early next week. This is the European ensemble mean. That is a big time shot of cold air in the eastern part of the country about a week from now. And if if you want to compare that to the Canadian ensemble, which has had a great winter so far, this is what it looks like. Let me get the right chart here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. This is the beginning of next week, around Sunday night to Monday. Big shot of cold air on that particular model, and then it keeps things pretty cold overall right on out to the beginning of the following week. So the Canadian keeps things pretty cold in the ensemble means, and again, it's kind of had the hot hand for a lot of this winter. So we'll see if the pattern relaxes a bit after the big cold shot early next week. It's possible, but I don't see any sign of a warm pattern by any stretch of the imagination. So we'll see how this plays out. There's a lot of uncertainty. If you're looking for snow, and a lot of folks are, I can't really latch on anything just yet, but I think we'll see potential popping up as we move forward in time. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.